Are you overlooking one of the most potent superfoods hiding in plain sight on your grocery store shelves? Sardines, these unassuming tiny fish, are a powerhouse of nutrition, brimming with heart-loving omega-3s, brain-boosting vitamins, and bone-strengthening calcium. Yet, a staggering number of people are unknowingly sabotaging their health benefits through common, seemingly innocent mistakes. These errors not to only strip away their incredible nutritional value, but can also spoil their flavor and, in some instances, even pose a risk to your well-being. Take a moment to consider your own habits. When you're standing in the canned food aisle, are you confident you're selecting the best option? How do you handle leftovers? Are they stored correctly, or are you inadvertently letting them spoil? Have you ever been tempted to rinse your sardines, believing it's a healthier choice? And the most crucial question of all, are you discarding the very part of the sardine that holds the most potent nutrients? The unfortunate reality is that these remarkable little fish are often misunderstood and mishandled. From improper storage to culinary missteps, the incredible benefits of sardines are frequently lost before they even have a chance to nourish your body. In the following, we will uncover the most significant mistakes people make with sardines. While some of these might appear trivial at first, understanding the science behind them will reveal their true importance. By the end, you'll be equipped with the knowledge to enjoy sardines in the way they were intended, unlocking their full nutritional potential and delicious flavor. The overcooking catastrophe, turning treasure into mush. A surprising number of people are unaware that the canned sardines they bring home from the store are already fully cooked and ready to eat. This fundamental misunderstanding often leads to a common culinary crime: overcooking. Many will toss these delicate fish into a sizzling pan, boil them, or otherwise subject them to prolonged heat, transforming a perfectly good source of protein into an unappetizing mush. The truth is, sardines possess a wonderfully tender texture, which is precisely why they are so effortless to enjoy, bones and all. However, this same delicacy makes them susceptible to breaking down under high temperatures or extended cooking times, resulting in a paste-like consistency that is far from enjoyable. This textural devastation is not the only downside to overcooking. You also risk diminishing their nutritional content. Heat-sensitive nutrients, such as the invaluable omega-3 fatty acids and certain B vitamins, can be significantly degraded by excessive heat. To avoid this, think of heating your sardines gently, if at all. If you wish to incorporate them into a warm dish like pasta, rice, or a stir-fry, it's best to add them at the very last moment. A mere minute or two is all that is needed to warm them through without causing them to disintegrate. This simple step will preserve their delightful texture, rich flavor, and potent nutrients. For those who enjoy a bit of a crispy exterior, a brief 2 to 3 minutes under the broiler on a baking sheet is an excellent technique. This method provides a pleasant crunch while ensuring the inside remains moist and flavorful. An even gentler approach is to place the unopened can in a bowl of hot water for a few minutes, which warms the sardines evenly without any direct, harsh heat. Remember, the goal is to enhance, not destroy. Treat them with care, and you'll be rewarded with a far more delicious and nutritious meal. The nutritional sabotage of deboning. One of the most frequent and nutritionally detrimental mistakes people make with sardines is the painstaking process of removing their tiny, delicate bones. On the surface, this might seem like a logical step, as the bones in larger fish can be sharp, bothersome, and even a choking hazard. However, sardines are a different story entirely. Their bones are completely edible, soft, and entirely safe to consume. The canning process, which involves pressure cooking, renders the bones so tender that they can be chewed and swallowed without even being noticed. Herein lies the critical point. Those minuscule bones are a nutritional treasure trove. They represent one of the most abundant natural sources of calcium you can find in any seafood. A single serving of sardines with their bones intact can fulfill over a third of your daily calcium requirement, a mineral essential for maintaining strong bones, healthy teeth, and proper muscle function. Furthermore, these bones are also a source of vitamin D, which is crucial for the absorption of calcium. Together, calcium and vitamin D form the ultimate partnership for bone health, a consideration of increasing importance as we age. When you take the time to remove these bones, you are not only creating unnecessary work for yourself, but are also discarding vital nutrients that your body craves. The fact is, you are unlikely to even taste them, as their softness allows them to blend seamlessly with the flesh of the fish. Many regular sardine eaters would be hard-pressed to distinguish where the meat ends and the bones begin. While some companies do offer boneless sardines, these products typically come at a higher price and often consist of broken pieces, as the deboning process can damage the fish. In essence, you would be paying a premium for a product with less nutritional value and a less appealing presentation. The solution is straightforward. Embrace the bones. They are safe, nutritious, and practically unnoticeable, offering a hidden bonus that elevates sardines to the status of one of the most nutrient-dense foods available. The grocery store dilemma: water-packed versus oil-packed. A pivotal mistake that many people make occurs before the sardines even make it to their kitchen, right in the grocery store aisle. The choice between sardines packed in water and those packed in oil might seem insignificant, but it has a profound impact on both flavor and nutrition. At first glance, the water-packed option might appear to be the healthier choice, with its lower calorie count and lighter texture. However, the reality is that water-packed sardines fall short in both taste and nutritional benefits. Here's the scientific reasoning. Sardines are naturally abundant in healthy fats, particularly omega-3 fatty acids, which are celebrated for their ability to reduce inflammation, lower the risk of heart disease, and support brain health. These beneficial fats are fat-soluble, meaning your body can absorb them more effectively when they are consumed with other fats. When sardines are packed in a quality oil, such as extra virgin olive oil, the fish not only absorb additional flavor and remain moist, but the oil also aids your body in maximizing the absorption of the omega-3s already present in the fish. Water, on the other hand, does nothing to preserve or enhance the fish. In fact, sardines packed in water often develop a bland, dry, or even metallic taste over time. This is because water offers no protection to the natural oils within the fish from the process of oxidation. As these oils oxidize, they can become rancid, resulting in an unpleasant flavor and a reduction in nutritional value. Oil, in contrast, creates a protective barrier that significantly slows down this degradation. This is why many culinary enthusiasts maintain that sardines packed in olive oil actually improve in flavor the longer they are stored. While it's true that oil-packed sardines contain more calories, these are the good calories derived from healthy fats. The trade-off is undoubtedly worth it for superior taste, a more pleasant texture, and enhanced nutrient absorption. To truly elevate your sardine experience, bypass the water-packed tins and opt for those preserved in high-quality oil. It's a small decision that yields a significant and delicious difference. The ticking clock of an opened can. A nearly universal and often unrealized mistake is leaving an opened can of sardines to linger in the refrigerator for too long. While sardines boast an impressive shelf life when sealed, the moment that lid is peeled back, a countdown begins. Once exposed to the air, sardines begin to deteriorate at a rapid pace. The delicate oils within the fish start to oxidize, a chemical process that not only alters their flavor for the worse, but also breaks down the precious omega-3 fatty acids, the very reason many of us incorporate sardines into our diets in the first place. This means that the longer an opened can sits, the less nutrition you receive, and the more unpleasant they will taste. The rate of this decline depends on how the sardines are packed. Those in water tend to lose their quality the fastest, often within a single 24-hour period. Sardines packed in oil fare slightly better, lasting for perhaps 2 to 3 days in the refrigerator. If they are in a tomato-based sauce, you might get up to 4 days before they begin to taste off. However, a non-negotiable rule is that after a week, regardless of the packing medium, the sardines are spoiled and should not be consumed. Another common misstep is leaving the leftover sardines in their original can, assuming they will be fine. The issue here is that once the can is opened, subtle reactions between the exposed metal and the air can accelerate the spoilage process. This is why food safety experts consistently recommend transferring any leftover sardines to a clean, airtight glass or plastic container immediately. This simple action keeps air out, slows the breakdown of nutrients, and prevents the development of an unpleasant metallic aftertaste. While freezing is an option for longer storage, it does alter the texture, making the fish softer and less palatable. Therefore, the most effective strategy is to only open what you plan to eat within a couple of days and to always transfer any leftovers into a proper storage container. This is a simple habit that ensures every bite of your sardines is as safe, fresh, and nutritionally potent as it should be. The perils of improper storage and ignoring expiration dates. Overlooking expiration dates and proper storage conditions for canned sardines may seem like a minor oversight, but it can significantly impact your enjoyment and even your health. There's a common misconception that canned goods last indefinitely, but this is simply not the case. When sealed and stored correctly, sardines can indeed remain in excellent condition for years. However, heat, light, and humidity are the sworn enemies of canned fish. Storing sardines in a sun-drenched kitchen near a heat-emitting appliance like a stove or in a damp pantry will accelerate the degradation of both the can and its contents. Over time, exposure to these elements will cause the oils in the fish to oxidize, leading to a sour taste and a decline in their nutritional value. Even more concerning is that damaged cans can become a breeding ground for bacteria, rendering the sardines unsafe for consumption. It's also important to recognize that not all varieties of sardines age in the same manner. Those packed in tomato sauce or other acidic liquids tend to break down more quickly than those preserved in oil. This means that if you purchase a variety of sardines, you should practice stock rotation, using the acidic-based ones sooner and reserving the oil-packed tins for longer-term storage. Furthermore, it is crucial to inspect the can itself before opening. If you observe any bulging, rust, dents along the seams, or any signs of leakage, do not take the risk. Discard it immediately. Considering that sardines are one of the most affordable superfoods available, wasting them, or worse, jeopardizing your health due to poor storage practices is an entirely avoidable mistake. A little bit of care in how you store your canned sardines will ensure that every can remains fresh, safe, and ready to deliver the exceptional nutritional benefits it promises. Beyond the can, the untapped versatility of sardines. Sardines are undeniably one of the most convenient foods you can find. A simple pull of the tab and they are ready to be eaten. While consuming them straight from the can is certainly quick and easy, this approach severely limits their flavor potential and can quickly lead to palate fatigue. The reality is that sardines are far more versatile than most people give them credit for, and exploring different preparations can completely transform your perception and enjoyment of them. Think of sardines not as a finished product, but as a versatile building block for a myriad of culinary creations. They can be effortlessly mashed with a bit of yogurt, avocado, or olive oil to create a protein-rich spread for toast or crackers. For a Mediterranean-inspired snack that feels gourmet but takes only minutes to assemble, try topping sardine toast with capers, thinly sliced onions, or fresh tomatoes. Sardines also excel in hot dishes. Tossing them into a pasta sauce at the end of cooking adds a savory depth and a boost of omega-3s. Similarly, adding them to a stir-fry just before serving keeps them intact while providing extra protein. Even a homemade pizza can be elevated by the addition of sardines. Their salty, umami-rich flavor pairs wonderfully with olives, bell peppers, and fresh herbs. For a nutrient-packed start to your day, consider folding them into scrambled eggs or an omelette. The benefits of this culinary creativity extend beyond just taste. It also enhances their nutritional value. Combining sardines with vegetables, whole grains, or other healthy fats can improve your body's ability to absorb their nutrients. For instance, pairing sardines with foods rich in vitamin C, such as tomatoes or bell peppers, can boost the absorption of iron. So, while enjoying them plain from time to time is perfectly fine, don't limit your sardine experience. They are a secret ingredient capable of upgrading countless dishes. A little bit of creativity in the kitchen will not only prevent you from growing tired of them, but will also help you extract more nutrition from every can. The myth of the monotonous sardine, a world of flavor. A prevalent misconception is that all sardines are created equal, that if you've tasted one, you've tasted them all. This could not be further from the truth. Much like wine, cheese, or coffee, the flavor, texture, and quality of sardines can vary dramatically depending on their origin, the medium they are packed in, and even the season in which they were caught. For example, sardines from the Atlantic may have a distinctly different taste and texture compared to those from the Mediterranean or the Pacific. This is due to variations in water temperature, the diet of the fish, and their overall environment. Cold water sardines, such as those from Norway, often have a firmer texture and a cleaner, more delicate flavor, while those from warmer waters might be softer and have a richer taste. Even within the same geographical region, seasonal changes can play a significant role. Sardines harvested in the spring might be lighter in flavor, whereas those caught later in the year can be fattier and more robust. Furthermore, the packing medium, be it olive oil, tomato sauce, mustard, or simply water, profoundly alters the final taste. Spanish and Portuguese sardines, often packed in high-quality olive oil, are known to develop deeper, more complex flavors as they age. Processing methods also contribute to the diversity of sardine offerings. Some producers lightly smoke their sardines, imparting a savory depth, while others preserve them in spiced oils or flavorful sauces. These numerous variations mean that exploring sardines from different brands and regions can be a culinary adventure in itself. The mistake lies in dismissing all sardines after a single negative experience. If you found a particular can unappealing, it may simply be that specific type that you disliked. By venturing out and trying different origins and packing styles, you might completely change your opinion. Sardines are not a one-size-fits-all food. Once you begin to experiment, you'll discover a whole world of diverse and delicious flavors waiting to be enjoyed within those little tins. The art of flavor pairing, finding the perfect balance. Sardines are undeniably bold in flavor. Their rich, oily nature and strong umami taste make them a powerful ingredient. However, this also means that they require the right culinary partners to truly shine. One of the most significant mistakes people make is pairing sardines with flavors that clash rather than complement, creating an unbalanced and often unpleasant eating experience. The key to successfully pairing sardines lies in creating contrast. Their inherent richness is best balanced with ingredients that are bright, fresh, or acidic, as these elements cut through the oiliness and enliven the palate. Think of a generous squeeze of lemon juice, a splash of vinegar, the briny pop of capers, the vibrant acidity of tomatoes, or the sharp tang of pickled vegetables. These assertive flavors don't mask the taste of the sardine. Instead, they sharpen and enhance it, making the entire dish more exciting and harmonious. Fresh herbs such as parsley, dill, or cilantro also play a crucial role, adding a burst of freshness that lightens the overall flavor profile. On the other hand, there are certain pairings that should generally be avoided. Heavy creamy sauces, overly buttery dishes, or excessively sweet components tend to create a culinary clash. The combination of creamy flavors with oily sardines can become overwhelmingly rich, fatiguing the palate. Sweet ingredients like honey or fruit glazes often fight against the natural saltiness of the sardines, resulting in a discordant and unpleasant taste. To illustrate, consider a simple piece of toast topped with sardines, a squeeze of lemon, and a sprinkle of fresh herbs. This combination is clean, balanced, and satisfying. Now imagine those same sardines mixed into a heavy cheese sauce. The richness is compounded, making it difficult to enjoy. While culinary experimentation is always encouraged, achieving the right balance is paramount. When you choose the right flavor companions, sardines are transformed from a simple canned fish into a gourmet ingredient that is fresh, vibrant, and truly memorable. The counterintuitive mistake of rinsing. It may come as a surprise, but one of the most detrimental things you can do to your sardines is rinse them under running water before eating. Many people do this with the intention of reducing the salt content, fat, or perceived fishiness. In reality, this practice does little more than wash away flavor and send valuable nutrients down the drain. When sardines are canned, the oil, sauce, or brine they are packed in is not merely filler. It is an integral part of the preservation and flavor development process. Over time, an exchange occurs within the can. The fish release some of their natural juices into the surrounding liquid, and in turn, important fat-soluble vitamins and omega-3s from the fish infuse the oil or sauce. When you rinse the sardines, you are effectively losing these valuable nutrients, along with the carefully cultivated taste. For oil-packed sardines, rinsing introduces another issue. Oil and water do not mix. This results in slippery, often broken pieces of fish that are less appealing both visually and texturally. The same principle applies to sardines packed in tomato or mustard sauces. Rinsing strips away the tanginess and richness that are specifically designed to balance the natural flavor of the fish. As for sodium, while it's true that some sardines can be salty, rinsing is not an effective solution. The salt is infused throughout the flesh of the fish during the canning process, not just sitting on the surface. A more effective approach is to purchase low-sodium varieties or to simply adjust the salt content in the other components of your meal. Think of it this way: rinsing sardines is like taking a product that has spent months developing its flavor and nutritional profile and undoing all of that in a matter of seconds. Instead of washing it away, embrace the brine, oil, or sauce. It is an essential part of what makes sardines so special and delicious. Overcoming fishiness, a matter of quality and preparation. One of the most frequently cited reasons for avoiding sardines is the belief that they are too fishy. While it's true that sardines are in fact fish and are meant to taste as such, an overwhelmingly strong or unpleasant flavor is often a sign of improper storage, poor quality, or imbalanced preparation, rather than an inherent flaw in the sardines themselves. High-quality fresh sardines should have a clean, savory, and slightly briny taste reminiscent of the ocean. If you find your sardines to be excessively strong-tasting, it's possible they were not stored correctly, are past their prime, or you are not pairing them with the right flavors to create a harmonious balance. The secret is not to mask the taste, but to enhance and complement it. Acidic ingredients are your greatest ally in this endeavor. A squeeze of fresh lemon, a splash of vinegar, or a spoonful of tomato sauce can instantly cut through any perceived heaviness and brighten the overall flavor profile. Fresh herbs like parsley, cilantro, or dill work in a similar fashion, adding a fresh, clean note. These additions don't hide the flavor of the sardine, they elevate it. The quality of the sardines you purchase also plays a significant role. Those packed in good quality olive oil or a well-made tomato sauce tend to have a much cleaner and less overpowering taste than their cheaper, poorly processed counterparts. The better the source, the better the flavor. Interestingly, our taste buds can adapt over time. If you are not accustomed to eating fish, the flavor of sardines may seem strong at first. However, with repeated exposure, your palate will adjust and you will begin to appreciate their subtle sweetness and rich umami depth. So, instead of writing off sardines as too fishy, try experimenting with different flavor pairings. Mix them into a fresh salad, top them with a squeeze of citrus, or pair them with crunchy vegetables. You might be surprised at how quickly that perceived fishiness transforms into a flavor you genuinely crave. The cardinal sin: discarding the liquid gold. This is, without a doubt, the most costly and wasteful mistake people make with sardines: draining the oil and pouring it down the sink. That golden liquid is not waste. It is a reservoir of some of the best flavor and nutrition the can has to offer. Let's delve into the science. When sardines are packed in oil, a slow and magical exchange takes place inside the sealed can. The fish release some of their natural juices into the oil, and simultaneously, the oil infuses back into the fish. Over the months of storage, this oil becomes enriched with omega-3 fatty acids, fat-soluble vitamins like D and E, and a concentrated umami flavor. In essence, it becomes liquid nutrition. When you discard this oil, you are not just losing calories, you are wasting the very nutrients that are known to protect your heart, support your brain, and bolster your immune system. From a culinary standpoint, you are throwing away a free, high-quality flavor enhancer that professional chefs would be delighted to have in their kitchens. So, what should you do with this precious oil? The options are plentiful and delicious. Drizzle it over a salad in place of your usual dressing. Use it to saute onions and garlic as the base for a pasta sauce or rice dish. Stir it into soups or stews for a richer, more complex base. You can even simply dip fresh, crusty bread into it with a squeeze of lemon and a sprinkle of herbs for a quick and elegant appetizer. The possibilities are truly endless. As an added bonus, the flavor of the oil can actually deepen slightly after the can is opened and it is exposed to a small amount of oxygen. Stored properly in the refrigerator for a few days, it can add even more complexity to your meals. Sardine oil is far too valuable to be wasted. It is packed with nutrition, layered with flavor, and comes free with every can you purchase. It's time to stop pouring it down the drain and start using it as the secret ingredient it truly is. A word of caution: who should be mindful of sardine consumption? Sardines are, for the most part, one of the healthiest foods you can incorporate into your diet. However, like any potent food, they are not suitable for everyone. There are a few specific groups of people who should exercise caution before making sardines a regular part of their meals. First and foremost, individuals with high blood pressure or a sensitivity to salt need to be mindful. Most canned sardines are packed in brine, oil, or sauces that contain a significant amount of sodium. An excess of salt can lead to an increase in blood pressure, putting a strain on the heart. If this applies to you, it is advisable to seek out low-sodium varieties. A better strategy is to pair your sardines with fresh vegetables and other low-salt side dishes to create a more balanced meal. Secondly, anyone who suffers from gout or has high levels of uric acid in their blood should be cautious. Sardines are high in purines, which are natural compounds that the body breaks down into uric acid. In individuals who are susceptible, an overabundance of uric acid can trigger painful gout flare-ups. This does not mean that sardines are completely off limits, but rather that moderation is crucial. Thirdly, if you are prone to developing kidney stones, particularly uric acid stones, the purines in sardines may increase your risk. Again, this is not an absolute prohibition, but it is something that should be discussed with your doctor before you start eating sardines frequently. Finally, let's address pregnant women. The good news is that sardines are very low in mercury compared to larger predatory fish like tuna or swordfish, which makes them one of the safest seafood choices during pregnancy. However, because they are often canned in oil or brine, it is still wise to be mindful of the sodium and calorie content, especially if they are consumed regularly. For the majority of healthy individuals, sardines are a fantastic and highly beneficial food to include in a regular dietary rotation. But if you fall into one of these specific groups, it is best to enjoy them in moderation and to balance them with other sources of protein. In conclusion, sardines are an incredibly underrated superfood, but their full potential can only be realized when they are handled with care and knowledge. From selecting the right can at the store to how you store, pair, and prepare them, small mistakes can make the difference between a bland, wasted meal and a powerful boost of nutrition. Don't let these common errors prevent you from enjoying all that sardines have to offer. Packed with protein, omega-3s, calcium, and essential vitamins, they can provide invaluable support for your heart, brain, and bones, all while being one of the most affordable and accessible foods you can buy. Now that you are armed with the knowledge to avoid the common pitfalls, you can unlock their full potential and savor every nutritious and delicious bite.